Details of these and more in a moment. Please stay tuned. Now the news in detail starting from the home front. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has approved the establishment of a College of Northern Science as one of the state coastal communities Kofawe in Ilaje local government. The approval was granted by the State Executive Council, marking a significant boost to healthcare training and educational infrastructure in the riverine axis of the state. Ayedatiwa made this known during his thank you visit to Ilaje, where he was warmly received by residents. The governor assured residents that more developmental initiatives were in the pipeline, announcing that the operating license for Ondo Deep Sea Port had just been revalidated. Meanwhile, going to the federal government on security matters, we have the federal government of Nigeria has ordered the immediate strengthening of security at all dormant oil wells in Ogoniland, River State, to prevent inference and act of sabotage. The government also vowed to identify and prosecute those linked to the massive oil spill at Yola Oil Field in Pine Community, Canal Local Government area of the state. The National Security Advisor, Nohu Ribadu, disclosed this on Monday when he led a federal government delegation to access the extent of devastating at the speed site in Pine in Ogoniland. However, a civil society group, Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, led by its executive director, Dr. Fineface Dunamin, had alleged that the spill was caused by equipped failure. Ribado said the incident was a clear case of sabotage and appealed to residents to protect the wealth and that of the nation. The African Democratic Congress ADC has described the 58.18 trillion naira budget presented before a joint session of the National Assembly last Friday by President Bola Tinubu as a continuation of fiscal recklessness. In a statement signed by the Publicity Secretary of the party, Bolaji Abdullahi, stated that the party assembled a group of economic experts to examine the budget document and they came up with a gloomy verdict. He further described the economic policy of President Bola Tinubu as unprecedented display of fiscal chaos and administrative incompetence. You are listening to Midday News from iPower 2.7 FM at Emurele, Owo, Ondo State. Still to come on the foreign scene, US partially suspend visa insurance, while in the world of sport, Super Eagles start AFCON campaign and mean officiating fair.
Whether you're tuning in for breaking news, in-depth analysis, or community updates, Hyper 102.7 FM remains your most trusted source. Because when it comes to news, the truth matters. Hyper FM 102.7.
Welcome back. You can join us on our social media and on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok on iPower 1027 FM. Now, to the foreign scene, we have the United States will begin a partial suspension of visa insurance to Nigerians from January 1, 2026, I beg your pardon, following a new presidential proclamation aimed at strengthening border and national security. The U.S. mission in Nigeria announced on Monday that the restriction will take effect at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in accordance with presidential proclamation titled Restricting and Limiting the Entry of Foreign Nationals to Protect the Security of the United States. According to the mission, Nigeria is one of the 19 countries affected by the mayor. The proclamation provides for a partial suspension of the visa insurance covering non-immigrant B1, B2 visitors visas, as well as FM and J students and exchange visitors visas It is also applies to immigrant visas, though with limited expectations. Still on the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has issued a new warning to Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, saying it will be smart for the Venezuelan leader to step down as Washington escalates a prayer campaign that has drawn sharp rebukes from Russia and China. Speaking at the Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida on Monday, flanked by the Secretary of the State Marco Rubio and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Trump promised to further intensify the tension after 4 months of mounting prayer on Caracas. Trump levied with the latest threat as the U.S. Coast Guard continued for a second day to chase a third oil tanker, which is described as part of the dark fleet that Venezuela uses to evade U.S. sanctions. Moving on to the sporting arena, we have the Nigerian National Football Federation team. The Super Eagle is set to begin their quest for a fourth AFCON title at First Sport Complex in Morocco, as the Mauritian national official Dehene Beida has been appointed as the center referee for Nigerians 2025 AFCON opener game against Tanzania today. The Super Eagles set to begin their quest for a fourth AFCON title in Morocco. Ahead of the highly anticipated fixture, CAF has confirmed that the 33-year-old Beida will be the man in the middle. However, Beida's history with Nigeria is defined by a singular painful memory. The Mauritians was the match official for the 2023 AFCON final between Nigeria and Ivory Coast, a match that the former ultimately lost 2-0. 2-1, I beg your pardon. To end the high power news at 12, let's take another look at the main points. We told you in the course of the bulletin that the Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has approved the establishment of a College of Nursing Science at Kofawe in Ilaje local government as one of the state coastal communities. We also inform you that the Nigerian federal government has ordered the immediate strengthening of security at all dormant oil wells in Ogoniland River State to prevent interference and acts of sabotage. While on the foreign scene, we brought to you that the United States will begin a partial suspension of visa insurance to Nigerians from January 1, 2026, following a new presidential proclamation aimed at strengthening border and national security. And finally, in the sporting arena, we inform you that the Nigerian national football teams, the Super Eagle, are set to begin their quest for a fourth AFCON title at First Sport Complex in Morocco. And that was the iPower 102.7 midday news as edited by Alade Olalekon. I am Abudurasaq Alawaye. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí tí kò ní tàbí ṣùgbọ́n ojúlówó ìròyìn láti ìkànnì iPower 102.7 èmùrí ọ̀wọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́. ẹ káàsán àsìkò iṣẹ́ látàárọ̀ ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí rèé láti ìkànnì iPower 102.7 FM èmùrí ilé ọ̀wọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Esther Bámidélé ni oníròyìn ṣáájú ẹgbẹ́ kòkó ìní ìròyìn náà. Ayédàtiwa bọ̀wọ́ lu ìṣàgbékalẹ̀ iléèwé fáwọn tó fẹ́ nímọ̀ nọ́ọ̀sì. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ pàṣẹ ríró ètò ààbò lágbára. Nílẹ̀ òkèèrè, Trump ṣèkìlọ̀ fún ààrẹ ilẹ̀ Venezuela. Ní ti aré ìdárayá, ikọ̀ Super Eagles bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìpolongo ìdíje AFCON pẹ̀lú ìbẹ̀rù bojo ẹni tí wọ́n yàn. wọ̀nyí àtàwọn ìròyìn mìíràn lẹ́ọ̀ láǹfààní láti gbọ́ nígbà tí a bá lọ tí a bá padà dé ẹ má yí kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀. ẹ káàbọ̀ padà ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo Lucky Ayédàtiwá ti bọwọ́ lu ìṣàgbékalẹ̀ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ fáwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ nímọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ nọ́ọ̀sì sí ọ̀kan lára ìlú lágbègbè